What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we made a video based on the US Bond Index Fund. One of the members was kind enough to bring up TLT, this ETF. I think you're going to like what they have. This is a great fund. Let's get into it. We're going to look at the iShares 20+ year Treasury Bond ETF. When you look at these top 10 holdings, this looks confusing. Let's go to Grok real quick. It's going to break it down. Very simple for us to understand. So on Grok, it shows the iShares 20+ Treasury Bond ETF, TLT. What it is an exchange traded fund that's known as an ETF managed by BlackRock, and it aims to track the performance of the U.S. Treasury 20 bond year index. So, when you look at this, what's the purpose of this? It provides investors exposure to long-term U.S. Treasury bonds. It invests in U.S. Treasury bonds that have remaining maturities greater than 20 years old. So this ETF is designed to replicate the price and yield performance of these long-term government securities. Now, what's the investment strategy? It's passively managed, and that's why you'll see later on in the video the expense ratio is so low. It's 0.15%. So you get that protection for a low expense ratio. What's the risk and what's the return on this? It's interest rate sensitive, and you will see when we look at the charts because it has sold off. It has a high sensitivity to changes in interest rates, with interest rates currently in 2024 and 2025 going up. This price for TLT is generally falling, and you will see that here. Also, the income. The fund will pay you dividends that you earn from the interest payments of the underlying treasury bonds. These dividends can be attractive for income-focused investors, especially in environments where interest rates are falling or are stable. Currently, the interest rates are pretty much, plateauing, but we will see in 2025, will that change and continue to go up? Why would you use TLT? You might use it to diversify your portfolio if you want to counterbalance two equities, since bonds and stocks often move in opposite directions during market volatility. You think about the stock market right now, it's at all-time highs. You got to ask yourself, is TLT something you can serve for yourself as a hedge against economic downturns or deflationary scenarios where bond prices will typically rise? What's the speculation on interest rates? Traders might use TLT to speculate on the direction of interest rates, and you also earn that little dividend, which is kind of nice. Using Fidelity, we're going to look at the overview here on the iShares 20 Treasury Bond ETF. As you can see here, highlights real quick. It opened at $87 a share right now. We're going to get into that on the chart because you're going to see how much this has sold off. You're also going to see the gross expense ratio at 0.15%, which is an excellent expense ratio, 15 cents for every 1,000. It has a total of 49 holdings, which include these United States Treasury bonds, 2%, 1.8, 1.6, and the list goes on. I want to also just show you on the bottom, let's look at the analyst ratings, then we'll jump into the fund profile. It has a 3 stars out of 5, and you always have to kind of go with that with a sign of caution. I mean, the returns have not been good, and you have to think about interest rates have been on the rise. So TLT's prospectus real quick, it tracks the performance of the U.S. Treasury Bond Index and invests at least 80% of its assets in the component securities of the underlying index, while it invests at least 90% of its assets in U.S. Treasuries. So just think about when you buy this, you're buying U.S. Treasuries. And if you look at like the last 5 years, it's really not done well. It's lost 5%. In 3 years, it's lost 12%. The life of it is 4%. So you're really relying on that income, dividends that you're receiving. But the big thing that I want to show you, just to give you a little perspective, is when you look at the chart, I just want to show you how much this has sold off. Let's just look at the last 10 years. So if you look at the last 10 years, it was all the way up at 170, almost 175. And now it has got a nice haircut of almost 50% down to $87. When you go to the life of this, it used to trade around $80. So pretty much we're about to be near all-time lows here. So we're just got to pay attention to this, because if the interest rates, continue to rise, we're going to see TLT continue to fall because it's so interest rate sensitive. So you really got to make a decision for yourself. Is interest rates going to keep going up where you're going to lose the appreciation of the total NAV price? Or do you think interest rates in 3 to 5 years will go down and this will probably appreciate over time? So I just wanted to bring up the composition of this, and you can see here, just to give a little more clear outline, all your investments of fixed income are within North America. And you can see, just if you want to take a snapshot of this real quick, you have total 49 holdings within this. You have 2% bonds, 1.8, 1.6, 4%, and the list goes on and on. They all have that 20-year maturity rate. So definitely pretty safe, but if interest rates keep going up, I mean, the fund is going to decay, so it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, how much of a, this is like a defense area that you're looking at. You're getting your 3.92%, and you're just getting your dividends to counteract in case equities don't do so well. So it's definitely something to think about. Looking at the performance and risk here, if you invested $10,000 in 2013, just to give you a reality check, and you continue to hold this all the way to 2024, your $10,000 is only worth like $12,000. It did double from 2013 to about 2020, but if you didn't sell at this high, it's back down to where it was, still earning those dividends at least. But I think when you go in with a fund like this, you're looking at the life, the performance of it. Of course, we all want appreciation, but is your money safe? And I think that's the key right there. You have a larger nest egg that you're able to put the money in and continue just to let it sit there and not be affected by, what your equities will, like your stocks. Looking at comparisons here for others, if you just want to see other competition here, you have TLT listed just in this bar right here. You have SPTL, which is passively managed as well, and you can see the price performance. And then you have SCHQ, which is the Schwab long-term U.S. Treasury ETF, very similar. Vanguard has their own version. iShares have their own version. Every single company that you see is going to have their own version on this. Looking at the statistics, it's very institutional ownership. I mean, look at this, 65%. It's about like 77% just institutional owned right there. It's an ETF, open invested company. And just to give you the kind of the fundamentals here, so you have all the information to make a decision for yourself. You have the net expense ratio at 0.15%, that dividend yield at 4.3%, and then the net assets around $59 billion. Now, this is really up to you guys if this is something that you're interested in. At where I am at the stage of my investing career, I'm not interested in this. I am trying to grow. I have most of my money in growth stocks. You can look at my YouTube portfolio as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to check out the links below. Check out my WAP if you want to directly chat with me. Check out Twitter. I have the Gemini Referral Club as well if you want to earn $15. Going into the playlist, just really quick, you have the Gemini Cryptocurrency where I update the crypto portfolio at least once a week. You have the Vanguard investments, Fidelity, index funds, ETFs. If you want to learn how to actively day trade on Fidelity, Active Trader Pro, this is the playlist for you. It's all free to use, guys. Just watch the videos, check it out, leave a comment. I really appreciate it. And if you're brand new, look at the Beginner's Guide to Investing. And if you really want to support the channel, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Check out the membership tab. It gets like $2 or you could do the $10 tier just to support. You don't have to do it. Just watch the videos. And then also check out the community as well. There's just a lot that I post on here for you guys to see. And this is my 2024 recap where we hit 4,000 subs. We made 80,000 day trading. And then WAP, if you want to directly chat with me, or YouTube portfolio review, all that fun stuff where you can see my buys and sells within my YouTube portfolio. You can check that out for a few dollars a month. Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in.